And welcome to our weekly Patchnotes discussion, week 170. I'm gonna switch over to Discord to, of course Carl is here as well. Yo my man, how you doing?
Yo, good. It's Friday, so
Good to hear.
doing well. And you?
Not bad, not bad. It's Friday, Icarus update, weekend, time for gaming. Oh yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. So, what is in store for today's notes then?
So we are at week 170. Uh, the third batch of Olympus missions been converted to operations. We have 7 new operations and also 6 new recipe alternatives. Now, 7 more missions on Olympus have been converted to operation, and we have 6 new resource alternatives to popular recipes. This week's update completes the conversion of operations in open world mode and expands your cooking options by adding 6 new alternative resources for crafting ingredients used in high tier recipes. This gives you options if certain key components, certain key resources are scarce in your area. Now, this week also features a breakdown of all the free content coming with the massive free update alongside the Great Hunts DLC when it releases. So let's jump in and have a read, shall we?
I like the idea that they bring in alternative resources. If I did scroll over it, and it does seem like common sense, sort of filling in components, some of them less so than others, but I like that idea. And yeah, finally finishing off the operation conversions. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's good.
So first a couple of notable improvements. The light automatic carbine, after I think it was last week's patch where they were fiddling around in the backend in order to prepare for the new Tier 4 assault rifle. Uh, the current present light carbines, you could no longer repair them. If you destroyed them, you did not get any materials back. So basically the reference in the database was broken. This has now been fixed. Current automatic carbines, the tier 3 ones, the ones that shoot the pistol ammo, they can now be repaired again, and if you destroy them, you now get resources back again. It was something quite a few people were complaining about. So I'm glad I fixed that.
We have we haven't uh,
We have them
particularly.
carbines in our co-op open world.
Yeah, we do, but I mean, we haven't really. I mean, I'm kitted out with every weapon under the sun, so I haven't really used it unless things get really bad. So yeah, but especially because the durability, as you know, doesn't last very long. So
Exactly.
it would be one engagement, and then you're like, oh, well, I can't repair my gun. Oh, that sucks. So yeah, that can definitely be a massive issue.
Yeah.
So
So if you crafted a new one, that one could be repaired again. It was just
uh,
the old ones.
yeah, got
This
it.
this has now been fixed,
Uh,
luckily.
all right, okay, good.
Especially because if you like destroy the old ones, because hey, you can't repair them anymore, I'm gonna destroy them and get half the materials back. So I only need like half the materials to craft a new one. Yeah, you didn't get
Yep,
anything back either. So
that would suck indeed.
yeah, glad I fixed that. They added a potential fix for BBQ blueprint something. Travel C superstruct crash that sometimes occurs. We're talking about mainly dedicated servers here. Um, I have seen people complain about this one upon loading. Was it specific missions or open worlds with a specific item in it? Was
Uh,
pretty consistent crash with this like this superstruct thingy is missing. They have been working to fix this on experimental branch. Initial results were promising, so hopefully people who were suffering from this crash, f- for those it will now be fixed. Next one, fixed kill cams on the Strider, causing players to be locked and a projectile not hitting. So the Striders, the animals in the swamp with the long necks and the very tiny heads. Quite hard to one-shot kill though, because you have to like hit them in the crit area in the head, which is like I said very small. Apparently there were people who like they got a kill cam, and then you are locked in the kill cam, so you can't really do much.
Can't play.
And then the arrow still missed.
Well, I know that you get those kill cams which get stuck on occasion where they're just hovering in front of the target and they're not hitting and it just sits there, but it only lasts maybe 5 seconds or 10 seconds sometimes. So it feels like an eternity, especially for like mid-battle.
Yep.
But being stuck in it permanently is a whole different discussion.
I don't know
So, yeah.
whether or not this was permanently, but at least the ones you're referring to, then after a couple of seconds, all of a sudden the animal realizes, hey, I'm dead, and then they die.
Well, no. On certain instances, the animal would still be alive.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that was on
Yeah,
the
I think
Jaguars, for
I think
example.
I've seen it once or twice indeed. But it's
It's
very
very
annoying
rare. It was
if
very
you
rare.
have
Yeah.
multiple seconds kill cam. I know.
Yeah, but it was pretty much, yeah, exactly. That was the thing mostly that sort of, it wasn't the fact that it didn't die, it's just the fact that it's in a kill cam. It's supposed to die, you can
Yeah.
take me out of the kill cam, but it's still alive, and then I'm standing there moving, but obviously it's stuck on the creature's viewpoint, so, or the kill cam mode, so that's, like I said, it's the same thing. If it's not permanent, and the people were stuck there until they logged out and logged back in, then yeah, that bug already existed for some time, and not specifically to this rider, so.
Yeah, I have not. There's somewhere on the Icarus Discord there is a link to a video of people who experienced this. I have not scoured through the entire Discord server to find that video, so I don't know how long this kill cam lasted, but there was something wrong with the hitbox of the crit area on the Strider. This now has been fixed.
Yep.
Some optimizations and quality increase on water troughs. And it's actually going to mention one thing which I had noticed during gameplay already as well. But we'll talk about it when we get there. So,
Yep.
this week, more Olympus operations. We've now converted the final selection of missions to operations. So now you can play them all in open world mode on Olympus using the contact device or the contact radio. So Influx, Resurgence, Sandy Bridges, Firewalk, Payday. Payday, wasn't it the one where you had to like mine exotics? No.
Payday was the one, I think, one of the ones we did basically for my last missions, possibly, I can't recall.
And we have Station to Station and Dust Up. Those 7 missions have now been converted into operations. Now, Beachhead and Spirit Walk were not included as they don't really suit the open world mode well, but they are recommended as tutorial missions to help you learn the basics before diving into an open world map. Spirit Walk, by the way, is the one which was used a lot for exotics farming.
Exotic farming, yeah, correct. It was just the open worlded one, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But those 7 converted operations brings the total number of operations up to 54 on Olympus, 24 on Styx, and 24 on Prometheus. Now I'm not sure those 24 on Prometheus include the null sector missions though. I don't know.
No idea.
Anyway, this was the final batch of Olympus operations.
Yep.
Now this
So,
week,
no more
yeah,
conversions, so it means
yeah,
that they can focus obviously on other things. The team resources will probably be shifted, but obviously there's, DLCs and, content to work and
yeah.
refine on.
We
So
have seen
we'll
in
see.
the future content that I've been working very hard on the Great Hunt, and there's more and more teasers about the Great Hunt. So, knowing my luck, this will drop in 2 weeks when I'm on vacation.
Yep.
So we have new alternatives to common recipes. We've added a bunch of alternatives this week for commonly used consumables in high tier recipes. giving you multiple ways to craft them if certain raw resources are limited in your region. You can now make flour from corn. Instead of only from wheat, you can also make it from corn and from potatoes. Potatoes grow in a swamp in Prometheus. Seed oil has been renamed to vegetable oil. Can now also being made from soybeans and from avocados. And this is actually a nice big one. Up until now you needed a gazillion seeds to make seed oil. So you had to go out and like harvest tons and tons of resources. Primarily fiber because there's like quite abundant, does respawn. So and then you can make the seed oil. Seed oil is a one-on-one conversion to biofuel, for example.
Yeah.
You don't need tree
So
sap.
soy is
It's
nice
just
because you can get a lot of soy basically. So
yeah.
soy is easy. Avocados, I haven't even seen an avocado plant. So
Avocados is a workshop fruit. I don't know whether or not they're in the wild avocados. Definitely from the workshop. But yeah, seed oil, like I said, if you make biofuel, it's tree sap and something to make biofuel. Seed oil was like one-on-one, you didn't need tree sap. Seed oil also being used for example, making cakes.
yes,
So giving us, especially the soybean to vegetable oil
yep,
recipe is going to be very nice.
definitely makes it nice indeed.
And we've also two new sources for sugar, being kumara and honey. Now honey, that's going to be nice, because the beehives keep producing the what are they called, honeycombs.
Hmm.
If you have the tier 4 upgrade, there's the what's called extractor or something, which automatically turns it into beeswax and honey. Uh, so you end up with tons and tons of beeswax and honey. Now honey can be used in certain recipes, food recipes,
But not many.
but you will still end up with a lot of honey. I mean, still you will end up with way and way and way more beeswax than you have any use for, but hey, whatever. You will also end up with a lot of honey. At least now you can make it into sugar, so you're not relying on the sugar cane exclusively anymore for sugar.
That's nice. It just depends also to be interesting how much the ratio will be for conversion of
True, true.
the honey to sugar because honey is used just in general as an alternative cooking resource to sugar. I would, for example, use honey in certain recipes that required sugar rather than using sugar. So,
Mm,
be interesting to see what the ratio would be.
yeah, it should be easily checkable in a mortar and pestle or in a material processor. So
Hmm.
we have also renamed seed oil to vegetable oil, like I said, to more accurately reflect the resources used to craft it. No longer only from seeds, but now also from soy and avocados. So do keep giving us feedback on other recipe changes you might like in the feature upvote. Icarus.featureupvote.com. Now more interesting stuff. Oh, nice one. So coming soon. The Great Hunt's free content. We know the Great Hunt is going to be like part DLC, part free stuff. Last week they were talking a bit more about the DLC part. This week is going to be quite a bit of nice info about the free part. A massive free patch will be added to the Icarus base game alongside the upcoming Great Hunt's expansion, the DLC. We thought we'd go into some more detail this week, breaking down everything you're going to get as part of this particular update. Now, all current world bosses are going to get a substantial upgrade, with their own legendary weapons and new currency to earn. These new currencies are you get a sandworm biomass, the black wolf biomass, scorpion biomass from the Scorpion King, lava hunter biomass, and the hammerhead slug biomass. Now, yesterday in my solo open world, I done a couple of black wolves and a sandworm. They're still quite easy, so those weapons should be easy to obtain. Hey Alucard, welcome. And yeah, get the weapons from Sandworm and or Black Wolf and use those to hunt down Scorpion, Lava Hunter and or Hammerhead. Caveat though, Lava Hunter and Hammerhead are Prometheus, where Sandworm, Black Wolf and Scorpion, I believe Black Wolf as well, is like Olympus and Styx. Or are there other Black Wolves in Prometheus?
I don't think so,
Didn't think
because
so
we mentioned
either.
that I think it's only an Olympus-based
Yeah.
spawn, possibly, but we could be mistaken.
But yeah, you can like farm the materials, the resources on an Olympus or an Styx open world, and then use it on your Prometheus open world. Except for us then, because we only use the currency we earned with that character. But like in general, you could do that. That might make the Hammerhead Slug a tad easier if you can make use of the Sandworm, the Black Wolf, and or the Scorpion weapons. Now, these
Cool.
biomasses will drop when the respective world bosses is slain. They can be used in the new biolab to craft a new applicable legendary weapon and its numerous attachments. Next to those legendary weapons, you also get some more generic stuff, armor pieces or items, or whatever. But are they mentioned? No, they're not mentioned in this part here. But things like the ape grenade or something, or the slug grenade. That's not a legendary weapon, but this it was mentioned last week. But some extras you get like in the game, probably without having to use the biomass, but don't know that yet. Anyway, let's have a look at a couple of the legendary weapons. So for the sandworm weapon, we'll get the legendary Sandslinger Sandworm crossbow. Now, the Sandslinger is a gigantic crossbow with an impressive 4-second reload time and up to 81 combinations of attachments to the jaw, the plate, the spine, and the barb. You know, 3
Hmm.
possible upgrades, 4 upgrade slots, so total 81 combinations.
Yeah.
And this crossbow fires javelins instead of bolts. Keep that in mind.
Hmm.
Now, these updates include a spine attachment called the Pheromone Spine, which grants a high chance to spawn a friendly sandworm to fight alongside you. Sandworm also has new recipes, like I said, for trophies, attachments, modules, and even a building tier. Gonna be nice to
I don't like the
make
4-second
this line.
reload,
Yeah, but
but
on the other hand, the amount of damage, it's the win.
it's
Uh,
it's probably still not going to be worth it. I mean, we had the discussion about the rifle, which is
from what
just
I have seen, you can kill a sandworm with like 4 shots of this thing.
so if it does 50,000 damage in comparison, or maybe 30, 20,000 damage rather than 200 damage, well, not that bad, but I mean, at least uh, 7, 8,000 damage versus, 400, 200 shots, because like I said, in the assault carbine, you go brap, and it's basically, oh, there's 7, 8,000 damage. So
Yep.
it really just depends, because that's also, oh, you missed a shot. Or, yeah, because it wasn't over there, it's
Yeah,
now over
but yeah,
there, and oh, it's jumping over there, oh, now it's here, and now it's underneath me, and now it's behind me. The typical gameplay that we also discussed regarding client side and server side
yeah.
hitbox rendering. So, yeah, don't
But
like it
yeah,
so far, but
it's
we'll
very
see.
simple. Don't miss.
Yeah, if it was a normal
And
game,
yeah,
then then it would have been an option. But
true, true.
since we've discussed that the hit points and the boxes aren't where they're rendering, it's a whole different discussion. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
I still do think connection speed is a contributor there as well.
But that's the whole point. It's server side, not client side. So that's the point. So, but
So
we'll
once
see
you
once
play
we get
with
to
a
the
faster
connection.
internet connection again, should improve.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, hopefully
We will
so.
see. Right, uh, that for the Sandslinger Sandworm crossbow. Next one. The Black Wolf world boss is going to give us the legendary Blood Moon Black Wolf pistol.
I
The
do
Blood
like the
Moon,
look of this thing though.
yep. The Blood Moon is a snub-nosed revolver that packs a powerful punch with an extra plus 15% weak point damage as his base bonus. Once again, 81 combination of attachments, including one called Lupin's Fang, which grants you dramatically increased reload speed, allowing you to shoot so fast that your bullets catch fire and deal extra fire damage. So fast reload and
I think
fire
this is gonna.
damage.
Yep, this will probably be my go-to weapon. I'm really looking forward to it.
Black Wolf recipes for armor set, shield, modules, traps, attachments and trophies.
Hmm.
So not a building
We haven't seen the
tier,
shield
but an
yet.
armor set and a shield.
We haven't seen the shield mentioned anywhere yet. Not that I could recall. I recall the armor set. I recall the traps. I recall, the trophies and attachments maybe, but the shield. It's the first time I've
I don't
seen
know,
mention of
I'm
that.
trying to... It does ring a bell, but in a very distant, very long distance bell. Um, Scorpion. Scorpion World Boss will give the legendary Clawfire Scorpion rifle. Now the Clawfire is a curved stocked prototype rifle with multiple ways to personalize, including attachments that allow for multiple spread projectiles, ricocheting projectiles, and even homing projectiles. There you go, homing projectiles.
I would prefer just fixing the hitbox issue, but
True,
like
true.
I said, I've already said my piece about that.
So this one also 81 combination of attachments, including a replenishing stinger, which allows for self-sustaining electric damage to be added to the projectiles that recharge while
Ooh.
in use. So electroshock.
Yep, that sounds interesting. Which also makes sense because it's like a scorpion-based paralyzing stinger type of, you know, kind of theme to it. So it looks like a pistol, but it's probably like a longer
Yeah.
rifle-based thing, like a cowboy repeater by the looks of the guard by the trigger. So looks pretty cool. TBC, what the
So
damage numbers, the fire rate, and those
yeah,
things are.
so new recipes for trophies, attachments, modules. Also fishing rod.
Yeah, interesting.
Lava Hunter. We get a legendary Magma Surge Lava Hunter Flamethrower. It's a prototype flamethrower with a lethal 25 fire damage dealt at 140 bursts a minute. With a blink and you'll miss it 0.9 second reload speed.
Mm.
That's nice and fast. So basically over 2 rounds a second and a 0.9 second reload.
But
Not
damaging
bad.
at 25 a tick, though. That's pretty much the same issue that I have with the flamethrower in general, in the sense
True.
that it does add up, but there are
Ah,
better DPM items and weapons
when
out there. It really
fighting
depends what you're going for.
when fighting the Arctic Scorpions or the Arctic Vespers, the flamethrowers are very effective.
Yes.
I've tested it out on the Arctic Scorps. Okay, sure you still have to like walk back, but you see their health bar like melt away, literally melt away. The Arctic
Yep.
Vespers as well. You don't need to aim. You just point in the general direction of the Arctic Vespers coming at you, and you just pull the trigger, and they like pop like
I'm
flies.
I'm mostly comparing it to this hammerhead slug fight that we had, because we used pretty much most of the weapons in that fight, which the carbide and the shotgun were still pretty much top tier versus the hunting rifle, which was practically irrelevant.
True.
And the pistol would also do pretty well over there, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah,
But
it looks good. It's they mentioned something about a double splitting. I recall something about twin, like two double flamethrower something something. So I'm not sure
yeah,
if there was another
maybe one of
attachment
the
allowed. Yeah, yeah,
maybe
attachments
one
which
of the
has like a
updates. But
yeah, which would
again,
make sense if you could. Yeah,
if you compare this with a normal flamethrower, I think this one is gonna do more damage though. 100
I
times
think it's
20,
gonna.
140 times 25
We never
per
really
minute.
counted the amount of number of ticks on the current flamethrower that you can get because it's pretty quick as it goes up. I mean, the numbers stack up pretty quickly, so
Yeah.
it's just a blur of numbers. So sure thing, it sort of ticks up, which I think is nice, is that it ignores maybe armor. So we'll have to sort of see how it plays against certain, enemies.
Yep. Again, 81 combination of attachments. You can personalize this Arsonist's Dream to your heart's delight, including the Persistent Cocoon update or attachment, which creates lava puddles when you fire it at the ground.
So setting
Which,
traps,
yeah,
trap
which I
prisms. Yeah.
reckon will do damage to enemies and players alike.
Yep. So watch out.
So recipes, it is a recipes for like modules, attachments, trophies. Also mines, turrets, backpack, a sickle, and a fuel source.
Yep.
Extra source of biofuel, I reckon. Interesting. And then the hammerhead. We get a legendary slugger hammerhead slug grenade launcher. You see here the grenade magazine.
Yep.
Oh, that's gonna be nice. Slugger is a modified grenade launcher that shoots toxic slime projectiles with devastating impacts on your foe. So especially good in the Arctic, I would say.
Also grouped enemies apparently. So
Groups as well.
possibly depending on how long those, because it'll probably create like a chemical pile that sort of does damage. So if you knew where the sort of spawns were for certain things, for enzyme geyser type of defense things, or for missions where you get constantly bombarded by spawns and that you
Ah,
could funnel into certain gates, that it might make it quite easy to defend those points.
now imagine doing an enzyme geyser where one of us is yielding the flamethrower, one of us is yielding the grenade launcher. We basically create a line of fire and poison in front of the geyser.
Yeah, sure, sure. Just have to, sounds like a formidable type of combination.
Oh, obviously gonna greatly depends on like the damage numbers, but yeah. Anyway, again, 81 combinations. Now this one can be upgraded to launch corrosive slime puddles, projectiles that slow and poison your foes, or impact explosives to quickly dispatch groups of enemies. So good against mobs. For group play, the rejuvenating Cephalon instead heals on impact and leaves healing zones for you and your teammates. Also, like if we were doing a hammerhead slug, one like I don't know, it's like exclusive, mutually exclusive, the slow poison and the heal. Because if it's like you can get both of them, and one with primary and one with a secondary attack, for example, slow down the enemies and heal the friendlies. Could be interesting.
Indeed.
So attachments, modules and trophies recipes, but also new recipes for grenades. Epoxy, good for Olympus and Styx, although it is a Prometheus world boss, but yeah. And also access. I don't know. Wouldn't it actually be like comparable with the miasmic X? Possibly. I don't know. Something we will have to wait and see. This is one for you. Next week, getting massive FPS improvement on light deployables. Next week,
Doesn't bother me at the moment, so.
all with the AMD still being weak with certain light sources.
No, that doesn't bother me. That was fixed some time ago, but improvements are always welcome.
True, true. So next week we're implementing a sweeping change to over 100 deployable items that either directly emit light or have a light source as part of the design. Now in some cases this has led to a 2 times FPS improvement. So 100% improvement. Not bad. Thanks to distant field shadows. We'll have many more details about this next week, but this should improve the frame rate for most players in large bases with multiple deployable items. Nice. Because the bigger your base gets, the slower, the worse your performance gets in base. And when it drops to below 20, it's gonna impact your gameplay. And then you run with your mount, you run off the platforms, and instead of taking the stairs, and yes, it's a
Rubber
MOA
banding,
style, it cannot fly. So I mean, it can fly, it just has issues sticking the landing.
pretty
That
much.
should be better. Now, your support makes these updates possible. So if you want to support the devs, feel free to hit up some of the DLCs. Patch bundle with the creature comforts pack, which gives you extra saddles, extra food troughs and stuff. Pet companions, which gives you multiple variants of cats, dogs, and also the actual horses. Or the zebra rescue mission, the only way to obtain zebras as a mount. Zebras, which is the only mount that's to an extent heat resistant. Or you just go for the dynamic bundle, complete the set. If you're like, hey, I want to have it all, you just say, okay, complete the set, and then it sells you what you don't have yet. So if you want to support the team, if you want to support the devs, feel free to hit up some of the DLCs. Now we're getting to the changelog. So new stuff, not that much. Basically the remaining Olympus missions have been unlocked for open world. Seed oils have been renamed to vegetable oils, and alternative recipes for flour, oil and sugar. Details wise, fixes wise, sorry, number of typos have been fixed. In the in-game Steam overlay, they fixed the friends list join game and invite to game buttons not working. We should make it slightly easier for people to like join their friends game or invite their friends to their game. Remove most DMs, materials and textures in the root build folder. Created a base class for the water troughs instead of everything inheriting from the small water trough. Some change to the luxury fountain, which is part of the creature's comfort pack, I believe. It now shows concrete instead of gravel. Normals have been increased to 4K normals. Preview mesh scaled added. Water plane setup for the luxury fountain has been added, and they removed the second LED, 85 triangles, so there's gonna be a nice performance increase for the luxury fountain. Removed some logic changing position of the water plane in the troughs. Didn't work with all the setups. You know, the black water level.
Yep.
Removed unused and referenced audio occlusion scene node. Well, it's not used, not referenced. You need remove it. They fixed the troughs automatically receiving 250 ml of water upon deployment. I noticed this indeed during gameplay. You place it, you haven't connected it yet, or you haven't like emptied your canteen in it, and it already had 250 milliliters of water. So basically, Free water for your mines. Handy in the null zone though.
Yeah,
This
makes
has now
sense.
been fixed. The opacity of the stone water trough has been increased. So basically a lot of stuff about the water troughs. Slightly reduce the change of MOA idle audio playing. Slight adjustment to reduce the volume over distance, because they felt a touch too loud in world. It never bothered me to be honest, but fixed issue where the strider could sometimes get a kill cam but the arrow not hit. It would float between the eyes. Hitbox with eyes have been increased. Add the topmost bones to a blacklist so it tries to not target the topmost bones. Yeah, thanks to Fun Reaver from the Steam forums. Oh, in Steam, not in Discord. For providing the amazing clip. Skip this. Coconut now decays into spoiled plants. Yes, indeed. Coconuts, if they spoiled, they just went poof, disappeared. At least now they will end up in spoiled plants. Removed another large list of old assets from the root build folder. So they've been cleaning up there, man. This will decrease the files, the game file size. So updates and also cleaned up old code or old files. The existing light automated carbine cannot be repaired and destroyed again. These are now legacy items. They're converted to legacy items, and any newly crafted items will be automatically converted to the submachine guns. So yeah, this definitely has to do with the change of last week. This Travel C Superstruct crash we've talked about. Some animal swarm changes. There's never spawning a threat AI type. Relocked beachhead. This mission doesn't work well in an open world environment. One of the two remaining ones, beachhead and spirit walk.
Yep.
So yeah, not going to be an operation. Now future content. Sorry?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Fireball, area of effects, audio for a flamethrower upgrade. So you will definitely get an area of effects attack, or like one of the upgrades on the flamethrower. Aspen sapling foliage. This must be Elysium. Fixed IMC loot populating in wrong killed creature. Oops.
Yeah.
You kill an elephant and you get like gamey meat, for example.
Yeah. I'm just seeing I'm trying to distinguish fixes versus new content, so I mean if they're making small adjustments that's one thing, but I see they increase the cooldown length between the Golden Gauntlet special attacks, so it still means that they're balancing the legendary weapons as
Oh
well.
yeah, I know they're still balancing them.
Yeah. And that there was a mention of a submachine gun audio and a fire close mech tail event, so I don't know exactly what that means. Probably means like the
Submachine gun
visuals.
is the previously known as the light automated carbine.
Oh, okay, alright, they are sort of, yeah,
They
getting
mentioned
more
last week's
bespoken.
patch notes that they
Yeah, they
were
did, yeah,
renaming it
yeah.
to submachine gun.
Yeah, so but it says adding a gun audio, so it's a bit interesting because
Like
the gun
new
audio
audio?
already exists. Yeah, well, it says adding submachine gun audio, close, a fire close, mech tail event, and data table setup. So it sounds like this is an actual new item, but yeah, it's
Maybe they like added new audio to it.
could be.
New stat to cap the number of projectile bounces used by the slug launcher. Oh, so it bounces a
Makes
couple of
sense.
times before it says like boom or sploosh or whatever it's gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be easier to sort of, position where you want it to. There's certain games that sort of reduce the amount of bounces per mod or something like that. So rather than having a bounce 3 times before it explodes, it'll only bounce 0 times. So it just lands and then explodes.
Yeah.
So on impact basically. So that would be preferred because grenade launchers are awkward weapons to actually shoot because of the bouncing mechanic. So
Huh.
it's sort of a bit of a strange one. It's the same thing with the ricocheting bullets. I don't really know where that would come into use. If you're in an open field, what's it gonna ricochet
If you're
against?
open, but if you
Either
fire it in a
creatures.
cave,
Yeah, true. It's all situational, which is
then it's
okay.
gonna be pew pew pew, and then it hits your friend who's standing behind you after a couple of
That would be
ricochets.
hilarious. Yes,
Yeah.
just get shot in the head back. It's like, why'd you kill me?
Yeah.
That was actually, yeah, that would be great. That's
It
definitely
is a
something.
real danger
Yeah,
when talking
it
about
is.
projectiles. So
Yeah,
hey,
that's why you watch out when you're shooting against, that's why you angle your steel plates if you're shooting at it, because if that thing comes straight back at you, it's still gonna have a lot of projectiles, like kinetic energy
kinetic
behind it.
energy.
It can take
Yeah.
you out. It can take you out. So yeah.
And let's see, Ice Mammoth Arena. Move to spawn closer to get rid of unfinished cave. Well, that's one way. Instead of finishing the cave, just move to spawn closer. Added a mountain range to hide Prometheus map from the sky. Okay.
Interesting.
And move some ice around in the map to cover holes that could trap the player. Oh, thank God. Getting
Yeah.
trapped in a hole in the ground during fighting a mammoth? Uh, certain death.
Definitely. Some
Yeah.
more tweaks to the direct heal stat for the slug launcher. So that actually is interesting as well, which means there probably would be a module inside which you could affix onto the slug launcher to become like a healer. So you could shoot your allies with grenades
Oh yeah,
for
yeah. But
healing
it's
purposes. So,
stated so in the description,
yeah, 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 yeah,
like
yeah.
heal your friends and create healing zones.
Yeah, the healing zone thing would probably be more useful to try and
Yeah.
because shooting your friends would be difficult in certain situations. So, mhm.
Adding the sound of the
Um,
Black Wolf revolver pistol. Black Wolf revolver pistol. Okay. Spawning a wolf by adding a louder, more intentional growl when spawned. So the
nice.
crossbow is gonna spawn friendly sandworms.
Silence.
The Black Wolf revolver is gonna
Revolver.
spawn friendly wolves.
I like it. I like the ads. I like wolves. So I think both Loki and Freya can enjoy a black wolf, companion for a couple of seconds. So
Yeah.
depends on how long it will last. It will draw aggro at the very least. So I do like it. Hopefully it will draw some aggro. So we'll see.
Allow slug launcher to be filled in water devices. Increase water usage and storage and improved wording of fillable consumption stats. Slug launcher? Water? So you're gonna
Hmm.
squirt water at your enemies, right? Instead of shooting
Well, it's like
projectiles, you're gonna
maybe
squirt water.
probably has like a type of lubrication or something to that effect where it's like
Mm.
shooting out the barrel. I have no idea realistically. But one of the things was adding a sewing machine foot pedal and loop audio when crafting. So they're still working on the sewing machine, which will
Oh,
probably be required to craft,
when
like the
crafting
wolf
on
armor
the
and stuff
sewing
like that.
machine, so it is not decorational. It's
Yeah.
actually a crafting bench.
No, correct. Yeah, it's a crafting bench. Yeah. So it's definitely a new one.
Yeah,
So added vintage jars and honey pots and bird feeder icons.
yeah.
So
Those are
I
gonna
like
be
vintage jars or decorative.
decorative only.
Exactly, yeah. No, true. But I mean, I like, the feeling of having like
Oh,
a
true,
storeroom set up where you could like vintage jars or something to that effect. It'll make it pretty cool.
true. If there's poison spots and slug grenade modifiers to only play audio on initial modifier edition. Okay. So the moment you put the attachment on, you get like a It's a specific audio. Uh, my colleague is here. He's gonna pick up a PSG.
Alright, I'll
So I just
carry on
opened
in
the
a...
outer door, and now he has to come up to my front door, so I can
Yeah,
do one or two more bullet points probably before he's at the door here.
yeah, so then I'll try and read on whilst you mute out or you hand him things, or
So more
realistically...
work on the rock golem gauntlets, increased melee attack,
Yep,
increased or tweaked the cooldowns. It was
alright.
increased. Slam attack happened
Yeah,
slightly earlier during the animation.
yeah.
Lava hunter mine turret.
Yeah, that was the
Turret shooting
turrets, was the
mines?
option for the lava. Yeah, possibly. It could be. I mean, it makes sense because they didn't
Ah,
mention mines and turrets in the lava hunter thing, so it
maybe
could be.
shoot
So
like lava puddles.
could be. Yeah, yeah, makes sense as well. So
Huh.
it's pretty cool. Um, Fix a
More
bug
pros.
where friendly sandworms wouldn't attack when they spawn in from the sandworm crossbow. So yeah, just more tweaks on adding in the working features of the new things. So. Um,
First few adjustments getting friendly baby Susie ready for central crossbow audio.
what we
Friendly
call baby
baby
soup.
Susie, is that like then the friendly worm for the crossbow?
I think so. Probably a little name for the worm, I'm
Yeah.
assuming. So, um,
This as new animation. Give players more info about ammo types required when they run out and try to reload. Short press reload. Like, hey, you need
mhm.
javelins for this and not bolts. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna mute out for
yep, meet up. It's fine. Go
very
for it.
short.
I'll try and talk a couple of things. So, it seems like there's some weapon tool or display rack prototypes. Still working on the fact that legendary weapons look pretty cool, so you would want to sort of mount them onto items and display them, and probably also make it easier to quickly grab and go kind of thing, which would be useful. I mean, you did spend quite a lot of grinding legendary resources to make it, and whether or not the actual visualization would change extensively if you add on different modules, because it does, but then therefore visually determining which one to grab for whatever situation you wanted to go for, rather than, oh, it's an icon in a storage unit, so you're like, oh, you have to figure out which one by hovering over it. So
Hmm.
makes sense. Um,
Let's see, anything more interesting here?
mm, it's mostly small tweaks and
Most isn't.
balances,
Yeah.
and
Update physical material for the honeypot meshes. There's your pots
let me
again.
put this on. Hunting rifle skeleton used by Scorpion rifle legendary weapon to be able to animate the gun based on reload animations. So it's just pretty much like a rifle as I expected. So it's not going to be a fast firing. It's going to be pretty much the assault, like a hunting rifle variant of the legendary weapons.
Yeah.
Um,
Can no longer
kill
trigger
cam
kill cam
is.
against targets with
Mhm.
armor. Should fix the issue
Yeah,
where kill cam was getting stuck after shooting juvenile rock golems. Oh yeah,
yeah,
you're
makes
fighting a
sense.
rock golem, then
But
you kill the juvenile, you get stuck in the kill cam. You don't
or
want
you shoot
that.
them. Yeah, yeah. Well, true. Yeah.
Kill can now correctly take
Um,
strong point and weak point damage into account when determining whether or not the
mhm.
shot was going to be a killing blow. Previously treating all hits against strong points as headshots. Especially the croc, for example. So like the armored head. There's this one Dribbo, one of the three variants with the like big bulky round thing on his head, which is a hard point. Huh.
Yep.
Uh, Add a deep order posture small case. Okay, Elysium. More cliff passes block out in Elysium. Swapping ape UV bite for a different event with more impact. I mean, they're apes, so they're gonna bite, alright?
Yep.
Yeah, that's basically the future content done. How far along is your update?
It's gonna still be another 20 minutes, so
Okay, so
we'll have
after
another
the
short break and then I'll unlock it. So then
exactly, then you
we'll
can unthrottle it.
yep, pretty much. So that's it, and we'll
So that's
see you
how
then.
we
It's
take a
from my side.
break. What's the time? 21:16 over here. So we take a like 15-minute break.
Sure, sounds good to me.
Okay. So then we're gonna take a 15-minute break, and then we will be back with some Prometheus gameplay, where we can check out some of the new recipes and stuff. So I would say thank you for being here. I really appreciate you folks joining. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy and want to get notified next time I stream, feel free to hit the follow button if you haven't done so yet. Or if you watch this on YouTube and you want to get notified next time I upload something, feel free to hit the subscribe button. In the meantime, like I said, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. We will be back in 15-ish minutes with a new stream with Prometheus gameplay. And I will see you folks around.